Hi everyone, I'm Scott and welcome to another episode of The Unlikely Beak. So it's been about 4 days since we were here and did our queen release into the push cage to try to stop our laying worker. So we're back now to find out if it worked, what's going on in there. It's really anybody's guess which way this entire endeavor went. So I'm gonna get the stuff out of the car. We're gonna get into that box and find out what happened. They definitely socked away some more honey in 4 days. That thing was probably twice as heavy as it was 4 days ago. So my hope here is that there's still a lot of bees out foraging. So we'll have less bees to deal with. Trying to get in here to see what's going on. Last time I was here, it was a little bit later in the day, and there were a lot of bees. All right, so there's way more eggs in here now. And there's even some larvae coming out now. So, and I haven't built those cells out yet to accommodate those. So now I'm starting to second guess bringing my queen down here. Unless they somehow manage to release that queen that I put in here, and she's the one responsible for these eggs that I'm finding. We're gonna find that out here sooner than later because we're almost there. And of course this frame here and this frame here are the ones that I took from the nukes, right? That had the brood in it, which, you know, we were gonna use to suppress laying worker activity. All these eggs are like laid off center. Like, what is going on? Right? Like, that is not, I mean, that can happen with a new queen who's, you know, obviously not practiced yet. This is the first frame I borrowed from the nuke. So lots and lots of bees in here, and I don't want to squish any bees. That's why I'm smoking them so often. I don't want to squish any, right? Because they're already on me. You can see flying around and stuff. They're already on me. If I squish them, then I'm going to have alert pheromone on my gloves, and then they're just going to be all over me again. Did they kill her through the cage? Is she still in there running around? Well, the cage is definitely out, and there are bunches and bunches of bees under it. So we're about to find out what's going on here. I mean, truly, I am just seeing so many things this year that are so out of the ordinary and defy what I have always known to be normal and universal and expected. And I'm just really kind of amazed at a lot of it. There were some bees, they were like chewing at that, trying to get it out of the hive. They did not like it in there, and we don't need it anymore anyway. So we're gonna get rid of it. So we're gonna keep digging into here to see if we can find more eggs. Of course, this is a frame that, again, was donated from the other nuke, so I'm not even gonna bother looking at this one because I already know what's gonna be on there is gonna be from the other queen. The queen doesn't have to be up in here, right? She could be in the bottom brood box, and she could also be in the honey supers over here. Wow. Oh my gosh. That has to weigh That has to weigh like 75 pounds. I'm not even joking. So I'm just gonna check the supers real quick in all these other boxes just to get an idea if they're doing anything with them. So it's gonna be really fast. So I'm just gonna put the camera down. Maybe I'll jump into a time lapse. All right, so here's the deal. We have been into the hive now. We found that at least 2 frames, maybe 3, have a decent number of eggs. I think more consistent in the pattern that I had seen just a few days ago. That is at least a positive step in the right direction, although it's still anybody's guess as to whether or not those eggs are from a queen that was already in there or the queen we put in. I don't really care which one it is, as long as it's not a laying worker. And again, since laying workers put multiple eggs per cell, and they're usually kind of laid all haphazard, and they're on the walls of the cell and everything else, and I didn't see anything like that. So we really just need to come back in another week or so, maybe a little more. We just need to look at those cells. We'll know in another week or so whether or not those cells are going to be normal capped brood, so worker, or if they're going to be drones, because they'll be widened and they'll be taller. So they'll be extended up above kind of the current depth of the already drawn comb on that frame. Or you could say that they won't be flush with the existing comb that's there. And then we'll know. So, however, the evidence is pointing more towards the fact that we have a queen in there. Again, was it a queen that was in there before and they killed the queen I brought? Or is it the queen that I brought? Because they had definitely chewed the wax out from around the push-in cage so that they could get in there. And my only guess is that they would have wanted to get in there to not only either kill her or free her, but then they would have wanted to get at the eggs that she had laid in there so that they could tend to them and keep them warm. So either way, we have a queen in there one way or the other. So we'll find out, you know, what's happening with it here in another week. So it's definitely good news one way or the other. I did not really find any honey in the other supers, and I didn't expect them to. They're not even really working them. And we're coming to the end of our flow here, and we probably won't have another flow until fall. So, and I don't really intend to take any fall honey from the bees unless they just produce a crazy amount of surplus. So we'll see from there. So I think that's going to do it for this episode. I really appreciate you tuning in, and I hope you learned something and at least enjoyed this endeavor of mine to try to save what was definitely looking like a laying worker colony. So as Mr. Ed would say, you keep watching and I'll keep making more. We'll see you next time.